Morning, it's me Lil Hamal, your science teacher. I'm going to teach you natural hazards. So out of them, I'm going to teach you grade 9 glacier floods or glacial lake outburst flood. We say GLOF, and then after, and I'll be teaching the cyclone. Thank you. So first of all, I'd like to welcome you in the class. So grade 9 science, have a look on the screen. Thank you. Okay, you're welcome. So this program is brought by the Bharatpur Metro PABSON Sheet 1. So it's going to teach grade 9 science, natural hazards. Out of that, I'm going to teach you glacier floods and cyclone today. Thank you very much. I'll be taking you some sort of tour to the mountain region and ocean. Okay, thank you. I hope you will enjoy. Okay, so glacial lakes and glacier floods. What are they about? Okay, glacier, when the snow from the Himalaya region or Arctic region starts rushing down because of its weight, that's called glacier. Glacier is persistent body of dense ice that is constantly moving under its own weight. For example, Langtang Glacier of Nepal. Likewise, what is a glacier lake or glacial lake? A glacial lake is a body of water with origins from glacier activities. For example, when glacier rushes down and the water or the ice get accumulated in some of the troughs or some of the depressions made by glacier activities. So there is formation of a sort of lake. So normally the lake is found to be frozen in most of the times, but they get melted when there is summer or increment of the temperature. For example, Chorolpa Glacial Lake of Nepal. Okay, so the first picture is about the Langtang Glacier of Nepal, and the second picture at the right is the Chorolpa Glacial Lake, the glacier lake of Nepal. Well, so some glaciers. So there are some of the glaciers very popular around the world. The first picture at the left-hand side is Baltaro Glacier. That's from Pakistan. Likewise, Isvatisen Glacier, that's from Norway. It looks very massive. Okay, it's a glacier, it's rushing down of the snow directly from the mountain. So that's another, Pulka Cuica, Peru. It's from Peru. So these are glacial lakes. The lake that is from because of the glacier. That's a Pulka Cuica, that's from the Peru. And another Gosai Kunda, it's a glacial lake. It's from Nepal. Okay, so let's talk about something, avalanche glacial lake outburst flood, that we say GLOF. Okay, so this is the GLOF, and I would like to talk about avalanche. So what is avalanche? Because of some reason, when the snow of the mountain, it rushes down, falls down in the form of the slide, that's called the avalanche. It's similar to that of landslide, but a bit different. It's that of the snow slide. Snow slide. It's a slide of the snow. When there is melting of the snow from the bottommost and the upper huge mass of the ice cannot be supported, or the support made by the bottom layer of the ice get melted, becomes weak, and a huge or massive mass of the snow fall down with the effect of the gravity. That's now called avalanche. Avalanche, it happens frequently in mountain region of Nepal. So it's Hindu Kush, it's a huge mountain region that extends from Pakistan to Bhutan. So it's very long. So avalanche sometimes can be a very devastating. When avalanche comes down, it gets melted, may cause the flood, or avalanche itself may bury the fertile land and may bury the human settlements, may kill the animals, including the human beings. Also, the avalanche, especially in some of the popular mountains which are famous for climbing, such as Mount Everest, the avalanche may kill a lot of mountaineers every year. So avalanche is something, a sort of natural hazards. So that's related to the snow. And so when there's massive sudden flow of the ice, snow, that's avalanche. And when it rushes down slowly in the form of the river, that's glacier. And when the glacier gets accumulated in some of the depressions forming lake-like structures, and most of the time of the year they get frozen, but they may be melted and they appear as a proper lake in some of the season of the year, especially the summer season. They are called glacial lake. For example, Diksho or Goshai Kunda. Okay. So what is glacial lake outburst floods? Okay, before that, let's talk about glacier floods. Right? Because of the glacier, if there is rushing of huge amount of snow that gets melted and gets flooded in downstream, causing the destructions of the human settlement, agricultural fields, jungles or forest, wildlife, domesticated animals. That's the glacier flood, the floods of the glaciers. Okay, because of the glacier floods and some of the rivers, including the Narayani, Saptagandaki, Saptakoshi, these rivers also get flooded, though it is not rainy season, because they are fed by the glacier. That's the reason. So sometimes we hear about there is flood in the month of the Chaitra, there is no rain, nothing. So what is the reason behind that? It should be melting of the snow, there should be an avalanche or should be the glacier flood, and the water from the glacier is continuously flowing through the river that comes to the Tarai region, and that river may be very devastating in Tarai region, submerging a lot of human settlements, though it is not the rainy season, especially, for example, in Chaitra, Baishakh, or even in Falgun. That's where it happens sometimes. So glacial lake outburst flood, what does that mean? Because of so this is the mountain and the snow falls down in the form of glacier, and the snows that get melted in the depressions forming a glacial lake. So this is the dam to support this glacial lake. Sometimes it becomes very weak, fragile, it fails, it outbursts, it breaks up, and the water outburst, it comes all the way down. And human settlements or forest or agricultural land down there will be destroyed. Now it is called glacial lake outburst flood. In short form we say GLOF. So normally till now, how many glacial lakes that we have? They keep on forming continuously, they disappear continuously. So we actually don't have the data, so the government authorities should find out the data. So it's how many glacial lakes and how many glacial lakes they are going to outburst and how many of them are in dangerous conditions. So we need to figure out, we need to trace them out, and if there is some sort of human settlement down there, we need to shift to that human settlement somewhere in its a safe place. So that's the government responsibilities. So because of outburst of glacial lake, there can be a massive flood. This is called glacial lake outburst flood, GLOF. Okay. Okay, have a look on the screen. Okay. The slide of the Huge mass of snow causing a slide is called an avalanche, hiu pahiro in Nepali language. The outburst of glacial lakes leads to the flood that may damage lives and properties is called glacier flood. Glacier flood occurs by sudden outburst of glacial lakes and named as GLOF, G-L-O-F. It's the acronym of glacial lake outburst flood. The flood because of sudden outbreaking of glacial lake. There are about 3,252 glaciers and 2,323 glacial lakes in Nepal. So how many glaciers till now reported? 3,252. How many glacial lakes? 2,323. 23. It's easier to remember, right? Good. About 20 glacial lakes are potentially dangerous, which are about to cause GLOF. Okay, what does it mean? So have a look at that point. About 20 of the glacial lakes, they are expanding. They are having a lot of water beyond their capacity, and the dam or the supporting basement is not going to support anymore. It means it is going to fail, so that the water from that lake may suddenly outburst, causing a flood. So 20 of the glacial lakes are in a very dangerous condition. They are about to explode, forming the GLOF, glacial lake outburst flood. A GLOF occurs when the dam containing glacial lake fails. Fails means it no longer supports the lake. Some glacial lakes that caused GLOF or about to cause GLOF are in Nepal, Dikso or Dikso. Next is the Chorolpa or Chorolpa, Imja, Lower Barun, Tulagi. These 5 glacial lakes are potentially dangerous. So this is reported by Water and Energy Commission, the report in the year 1996 from the government side of Nepal. So there are 20 of the lakes are in very dangerous conditions, and so out of them, from the report of Water and Energy Commission, which was published in the year 1996 from the government of Nepal, the 5 lakes, Dikcho, the Chorolpa, Imja, Lower Barun, and Tulagi are about to explode. The Dikcho already exploded in the year 1985. So yeah, so Chorolpa is about to explode, and Imja and Lower Barun and Tulagi has got the same problem as well. And there is a human settlement down there, and these people are potentially in high risk. Okay, have a look at the picture. This is Dikcho Glacial Lake. It used to be very massive, but it exploded or outbursted in the year 1985, causing a lot of destructions. It destroyed 14 bridges and a hydroelectricity project at Namche Bazaar. Next one, Chorolpa Glacial Lake. It's a Chorolpa Glacial Lake. And then people are complaining about this lake time and again because it is expanding and about to explode time and again. It is in danger condition as well. Chorolpa Glacial Lake. So Chorolpa Glacial Lake is like this. So have a look at the previous picture. The previous picture is just like this. So it looks like this. So it is taken from the front view, taking smaller spaces. So have a look the surroundings of Chorolpa Glacial Lake. So it is fed by a couple of glaciers, and the size of the Chorolpa is increasing every year. So when it becomes bigger and bigger, and when all the snow melts out of the lake, and the water inside the lake won't be supported by the dam or embankment on the side, and then after that will be exploded, and it causes GLOF, glacial lake outburst floods, and that flood may cause the destruction to the human settlement, wildlife, domestic animals, forest, ecology, okay, and many more. So Imja Glacial Lake, that's a Imja Glacial Lake at the base of Mount Everest. So that's a Imja Glacial Lake. It's a Mount Everest region. Lower Barun Glacial Lake. This is another glacial lake. It is in very dangerous situations, about to explode. So Tulagi Glacial Lake. So that's a Tulagi Glacial Lake. A couple of tourists there are standing and watching Tulagi Glacial Lake at the left side and right hand side. You can have a look the picture taken in the year 1991 down there, the little one. So have a look my cursor. So this one, it's a comparatively a bit smaller. Okay, so this picture was taken in the year 1991. And another picture, have a look down there. This is the picture taken in the year 2016. So have a look or compare these two pictures of the same lake, Tulagi Glacial Lake. The size is increasing. What does it mean? Because the snow is melting and accumulated the water in the lake. It is expanding, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. One day it is going to explode, and it may hamper the surrounding ecology and may destroy the human settlements, infrastructures, and many more. So you have a look, the glaciers rushing down here like this, and it gets accumulated here. The same picture. What is the difference in these two pictures? The Tulagi Glacial Lake in the 2016 is increased in its size. It is getting bigger. That's a difference. It means it is indicating that it is going to explode very soon. Okay, good. So next one. How is Tulagi expanding? How is Tulagi expanding? Tulagi is expanding. So let's have a look. That yellow line up there. The yellow line up there, this is the scale of 3 kilometers. So if the line is the scale of 3 kilometers, so the length of the lake is almost the same as that of the yellow line, approximately, in my approximation, or maybe a bit less, no problem. So it means the lake looks very small in the picture taken from the satellite or from the sky or airplane, but actually the lake is massive, the big one. Have a look, the length is as long as 3 kilometers. It means it's too long, and it is continuously fed by a massive glacier, so that it is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. One day this basement not going to support this lake anymore, and it is going to explode and causing the flood. Okay, so that will make the glacial lake outburst flood. So the Tulagi is expanding in this way because it is continuously fed by a huge glacier. Causes of glacier floods, so global warming. The temperature of the earth is increasing day by day. So because of greenhouse gases. So and the snow from the Himalaya melting, and the water accumulated, the glacier rushed down and accumulated in the glacial lakes. And the glacial lake accumulating a lot of water, and one day they are going to explode. Melting of snow, obviously because of global warming, the snow melting is increasing. The rate of snow melting is increasing. Glacier lake outburst, or we say or you can say glacial lake outburst flood. The glacier flood is caused by sudden outbreak of the glacial lake. Geographic energy. So the energy content inside the earth has got a very important point to talk about explosion of the glacial lake and formation of the flood. For example, if the energy inside the earth that makes shaking of the earth or geography, that may cause the explosion or may cause the melting of the ice, that obviously cause the glacier floods and may cause the glow. Change in climate means global warming increases the temperature. Tectonic shocks means the bedrocks moves up and down, rightwards and leftward. So that causes movement of the geography or Himalaya, and that may cause what is it called, the explosion of the glacial lake. Likewise, it may cause the increment of the temperature of Himalaya that causes rapid melting of the snow. Likewise, the next one, human encroachment. When human encroachment, for example, human being, when they encroach the mountain, they pollute, or human starts settling there, human go climbing, and that activities may increase the temperature and may cause the landslides or deterioration, may cause avalanche, and finally may cause the glacier flood or GLOF, glacial lake outburst flood. Okay, next one. So let me explain this picture very clearly. You better understand. Have a look on the screen. So that's a mountain, and the mountain has got up here. Mountain has got the snow. So snow melts down, causing the glacier, and this is also the mountain causing the glacier, and there is accumulation of water and causing the glacial lake, Himtal. Okay, and when the water is accumulated, and finally the water overflows and the basement cannot support anymore, and it explodes suddenly, causing a flood down there. Have a look my cursor down here. Okay, causing the flood down here, and that floods in a very high speed, having excessive energy, flows down there, causing the destruction of the fertile land, geography, and human settlement, killing the people, animals, and destroying the properties. So it's a main cause of the GLOF. So why does this happen? This happens because of increment of the temperature of the earth. That is called global warming or climate change. Okay, next. Okay, so I'm again showing the same thing. Tulagi expansion leads to its explosion causing GLOF. So same Tulagi I'm showing here. In the year 1991 is smaller. In the year 2016 a bit bigger, and it is accumulated a large amount of water. It's going to be explode. That's why the Tulagi increasing its size time and again. Effects of glacier flood says is other natural disasters or any sort of disaster or the hazards. Glacier flood or GLOF has got some sort of same sort of effects to human beings, animals, and to the environment. Destruction of land structures, natural resources, physical structures, and cultural heritages. It causes the destruction of the fertile land. It converts fertile land into infertile one. Destruction of lives and properties. It kills a lot of people and kills animals. Yeah. It's occurrence of landslides and soil erosion because of glacier flood. Destruction of the habitats of the living beings, that of the wild animals. Destruction of agricultural products, for example, the crops like maize or rice. It causes the spreading of epidemics, for example, cholera or typhoid, etc. Dick Cho, a devastator in the 1985. I a bit talked about Dick Cho in the beginning. So what Dick Cho did? So Dick Cho did something very bad in the year 1985. The Dick Cho, a glacial lake of Nepal, outbursted in the year 1985, causing GLOF, causing glacial lake outburst flood. So it destroyed food and bridges and a hydropower at Namche Bazaar. It destroyed altogether food and bridges, the infrastructure, causing the loss of a huge amount of property, and it causes the destruction of hydropower at Namche Bazaar. So preventive measures of a glacier flood. Glacier flood happens or GLOF happens because of global warming. So we need to think about to reduce the greenhouse gases and to keep the temperature of the earth at constant level, not allowing it to increase. Mapping of glacial lakes by field investigations. If some of the lakes are in danger condition, we need to make the excess of the water so that the water get drained slowly and not causing harm to people. If some people are living down there and they are in a very excessive danger or threatened condition, they need to be shifted. It's a safe place ASAP. Establishment of flood measuring stations in flood prone area, for example, so labeled, for example, the green zone, yellow zone, red zone. So when the flood level reaches to the yellow zone, it warns the people and they need to evacuate that area. So construction of embankments at the bank of the rivers, that controls, embankment means the dam that controls the flood. Generating public awareness against glacier flood. So what is glacier flood? How does it happen? And if someone living next to the glacial lake, it may cause the glacier flood or glacial lake outburst flood. They need to know and they need to separate from that area if we think it's very dangerous to live there. Okay, so let me talk about the cyclone. We are not worried about cyclone because cyclone start from the ocean and we are in a landlocked country. We don't have ocean. But still, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't worry about, because it comes in India, it comes in the United States of America, it comes in Bangladesh. So wherever we are the same. That's why we need to worry about and we need to think about that as well. So what is a cyclone? Cyclone is a circular fluid motion. Circular fluid motion. Especially it starts any part of the ocean because of change in temperature, that of the upper level and lower level. When it becomes a massive one and containing a large amount of energy, that becomes devastating. And it not only remains still at a place, but also it moves from a place to a place in high speed, sometimes as much as 250 km per hour. That's why it can move very fast. So somewhere it occurs in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, may come to like the United States of America, or may hit some part of the Europe. So in a few days or in a couple of days, in few hours. Okay, so have a look. It has got a circular motion. The water, let's say the fluid and air having a very high energy, it rotates in the same direction of the earth. In the same, how the earth moves, it rotates in the same direction. Okay, so there is a circular hole at the middle, that of the cyclone. That is called eye of cyclone. The size of the eye of the cyclone is circular in structure. The size of the eye determines how strong the cyclone is. The bigger the eyes, weaker the cyclone, and vice versa. It means the smaller the eye, the more powerful the cyclone is. So cyclone, when it enters to the human settlement or coastal areas, it may damage the infrastructures, may kill the people, destroy the plants and other infrastructures. So it's a natural hazard. It's devastating. So have a look on the screen. So what is cyclone? So a circular fluid motion that rotates in a closed area in the same direction as the earth is called a cyclone. A rapidly rotating storm system characterized by strong winds, low pressure center, there is a very low pressure at the center, and a spiral arrangement of thunderstorm. There is kind of thunderstorm as well. It's called a tropical cyclone that generated from the tropical region. Some examples of cyclone, for example, Bhola, Katrina, Gorky, Mitch, etc. Cyclones are not common in Nepal because we don't have ocean, but they are very common in Bangladesh, India, Japan, Philippines, Mexico, America. I would like to talk about something related to the names of the cyclones. Normally, till today, the name of the cyclones are taken from the girl's name, the lady's name, and the girls are not very happy to keep the name of the cyclones, which is very devastating, killing a lot of people, and giving the good name, that of the good lady. So the girl is not very happy. So I don't know why. So normally the name of the cyclones is given after something, but the name is obviously given that of the girl's name. Okay, next one. Some unforgetful cyclones. There were there were a lot of cyclones that happen around the earth, and that causes killing a lot of people. Out of them, the few are going to explain that happened recently, and it's killing a lot of people. In Bangladesh, a cyclone named Bhola claimed 4,400,000 people in 1970-80, and in the same country, Gorky, in the year 1991, killed 1,40,000 people. So in Bangladesh, in the year 1970, 4 lakhs people killed because of a cyclone called Bhola, and in the same country, another cyclone called Gorky killed 1,40,000 people. That was in the year 1991. Similarly, a cyclone named Katrina claimed 1,800 people and loss of millions worth property in 2005 in the United States of America. So that happened almost recently in the year 2005, killed 1,800 people. So the picture, bottom of the picture given there, that is from the Bangladesh, the destruction made by the Bhola. Have a look, the picture is black and white because I think there wasn't development of color camera, digital camera, so the picture is just black and white. So the picture at the right hand side, it looks massive debris, including the human dead bodies, that devastating. Okay, that was the Bhola that killed 4 lakhs people, 400,000 people. And Gorky disaster in Bangladesh in the year 1991, it was just like this. Have a look how human settlement and road and what happened. The picture of the Gorky is in the inset at the left hand side down there. So have a look, the city is almost submerged and a lot of people killed, a lot of infrastructure destroyed. Next one, Katrina disaster in the United States of America in the year 2005. So that's the United States of America. It's all flooded because of the Katrina in the year 2005. Killed 1,800 people. The picture of the Katrina is down there on the inset at the right hand side, bottom corner. Causes of cyclone. What causes the cyclone to reform? When the temperature of the sea water in 50-meter depth from the surface is about 16.5 degrees Celsius, the atmospheric pressure decreases around the ocean or sea. The speed of the air inside the cyclone is around 119 km per hour and reaches up to 200 km per hour. That keeps on going continuously, causing a cyclone. So, when the temperature of the ocean up to 50 meter down, that becomes 26.5 degrees Celsius, and that causes the continuous movement of the fluid, means water in circular motion, that gets added and accumulated, and that becomes huge and becomes finally the massive one that it starts to rotate with the speed of 119 km per hour, that may reach up to 250 km per hour, that causing a cyclone. So it's very interesting. Just have a look the screen, so you will better understand how does a cyclone occur. The process of developing a cyclone starts when the temperature of sea water in 50-meter depth from the surface of the sea is 26.5 degrees Celsius. In this process, water vapor with the water air rises up when the air concentrates in a low pressure zone, which organizes cluster of the thunderstorms with the weak surface winds. So the temperature rises 26.5 degrees Celsius, and the pressure is very low and there is formation of thunderstorm with the weak surface winds. The surface wind is very weak. This process is called tropical disturbance. There is a sort of disturbance occurs because of increment of the surface temperature up to 26.5 degrees Celsius. That's called tropical disturbance. Tropical means where there is the line of tropics, especially the center of the earth where there is too hot. The continuation of tropical disturbance results in the strengthening the surface winds and blowing forcefully around and into the center of the growing storm. The storm becomes stronger and larger when the atmospheric pressure decreases. Finally, the strong storm changes into the cyclone. Okay, so it looks something very difficult. So what is the gist? The gist is that at the tropical region, when the temperature of the ocean increases up to 26.5 degrees Celsius or maybe greater than that of this, then after there is occurrence of some sort of tropical disturbance. What does it mean? It means there is low pressure zone that causes the movement of the fluid water in a circular motion, causing the thunderstorm. When the tropical storm, the tropical disturbance, including the thunderstorm that accumulated, that becomes bigger and it increases its speed, then after it turns in the cyclone. So cyclone is nothing, it's just a storm together with the fluids, means the water. So it moves, it rotates and moves in a very high speed. So have a look on the screen. So cyclone continuously. So you can have a look, this is the cyclone and there is a circular hole in the middle of the cyclone. What is this hole called? Have a look my cursor. So this hole is called the eye of the cyclone. The central circular hole of the cyclone is called eye of a cyclone. The eye of the cyclone keeps the central mass in the circular motion. The shape of the eye determines the strength of the cyclone. It means how strong the cyclone is. Smaller the eye, more powerful the cyclone, and vice versa. If the eye is bigger, less powerful. Eye is smaller, the cyclone is more powerful. The cyclones are categorized as Category 1, Category 2, Category 3, Category 4 and Category 5 in Saffir-Simpson scale. It's a type of scale given by Saffir and Simpson, that's called Saffir-Simpson scale. How dreadful are they or how much damage they made? So if the cyclone having the Saffir-Simpson scale 1 and 2, it has got low or minimal damaging capacity. It damages low. If it is that of the 3, 4 and 5, they have got the extreme damaging capacity. They can damage extremely, means a lot. The cyclone of Saffir-Simpson scale 5 is most powerful and dreadful as well as devastating, having the wind speed of 250 km per hour. Which category is the most dangerous cyclone? The Category 5 or the Saffir-Simpson scale 5 is most dreadful. So it has got the speed of the wind 250 km. It's most devastating. Effects of cyclone. So as other natural hazards, cyclone has got more or less the same effects. Destruction of lives and properties in coastal areas means sea coast, or coastal areas means the coast of the sea. Sources of other disasters like flood, soil erosion, landslides due to heavy rain, the fall induced by heavy rainfall induced by the cyclone. Destruction of land structure, fertile land and agricultural products. Reduction in fertility of the fertile land due to the deposit of silt due to cyclone. Silt means the sand. Likewise, disturbances in the water-related activities like boating, fishing, shipping. Sometimes the cyclone may capsize the huge boats or ships in killing a lot of people. Preventive measures of the cyclone. So how can we prevent the cyclone or how can we minimize the destruction made by the cyclone? We can do in the following ways: collecting information regarding cyclone, warning people of the coastal area to evacuate the coastal area if there is chances of occurrence of the cyclones. Adopting cyclone resistance technology to build houses in the coastal areas. Flexible house or lighthouse. Constructing emergency shelters for victims of cyclones when they are homeless and they need to keep somewhere. That's why we need to manage the shelters for them. Rescuing cyclone affected people promptly, so we need to rescue them. Okay, likewise, generating public awareness against cyclone among the people of coastal areas, and updating to the information regarding cyclone by the people of coastal areas if the cyclone is emerging or cyclone going to hit a particular coastal area, they need to know. That's all for today. Thank you. I think you enjoyed today's lesson. You made a sort of tour to mountain region, and I took to some part of the ocean as well. But it wasn't a good news, but it was something bad and sad news, killing a lot of people. That's all about natural hazards or natural disasters of the grade 9. Thank you very much. You have a good day today. See you in the next class.